Well, we appreciate you being on the show. And right now, we're going to invite everybody on the Fightlete Report to tell you who we've got on the show. Right now, we welcome Carlos Hernandez to the Fightlete Report. Make sure to check out his fight. He defeated Trevor Wells at LFA 93 last Friday by unanimous decision. And make sure to check it out right now exclusively on UFC Fight Pass at LFA 93. He trains at Valle Flow Striking, is 6-1, and current HFC Flyweight Champion as well. And we welcome you to the show. How are you doing, my friend? And how do you feel after that fight?
Good, good. Like I said, it was a hard fought battle. It was good to obviously put on a good show on the LFA debut. Being there the number one feeder into the bigger shows. So no, just happy. Overall happy with the performance. Never satisfied, but always something to work on. But always good when you get your hand raised.
Definitely. Tell us, what about the fight do you feel was different from your last fight? Obviously, it went all 3 rounds, and you were taking on Trevor Wells, who's a top contender in the LFA. And it had been a while since we see you compete at HFC 42 as well.
Yeah. So compared to my last fight, this guy, the range wasn't as difficult. The last time you guys saw me in HFC cage, Matt Brown's got like a tremendous reach for flyweight. So, kind of letting go of my stand up was a little bit easier in this fight, and also it was kind of the game plan because he was more of a wrestler, or a boxer wrestler, I guess. We figured he'd kind of want to use his wrestling when we're taking the lead in the stand up, which was the plan at least. So just kind of a little bit of different styles. I mean, both of them kind of wanted to strike and kind of go 2 for 2. The wrestling didn't use it as much in this fight until kind of the end, but it is what it is. That's what we train for. To be ready for everything and anything.
And then talk about LFA, how the promotion differs from other promotions that you fought for. How excited you to get the opportunity to fight for them again?
Everything ran. I mean, super smooth. I mean, obviously things were a little different for me and I guess for everybody because of the whole COVID stuff. Um, but I mean, as far as like promotion and like the timeliness and like I guess just overall professionalism of everything is super smooth. Can't really complain. The outside stuff like just with like things being open and things to do obviously was a little bit boring, kind of just stuck in the room watching Sports Center or whatever live sports were
Right.
on. But I mean, we were back in there competing, doing what we love, so can't complain too much. But for sure, I'd love to fight for them again anytime if that's what's next.
For sure. And did you have anyone in mind, or you're just welcoming anyone they give you?
No, no one in particular. It's kind of whatever coach says, wherever and whoever coach says is next is where we go.
And then talk about training with Mike Valle, your coach, and your train partners. Who did you feel you benefited the most from during this time, especially when things were shut down and maybe that you didn't have as much access to the gym?
No, yeah, I mean, Coach Mike's been great since I met him, and like every fight that I've had under him, it kind of just the way the scenarios he explains or things to be ready for, expect to see, it like plays out like word for word in every fight. So just having him in the corner, freaking, just been done wonders for my career. I feel like. As far as training partners, I mean, everybody's been in there grinding. Like nobody really stopped. Everybody's super, like even our amateurs, super professional in the way we like conduct ourselves and get ready for stuff. So I mean, uh, like without my teammates and Coach Mike and all our wrestling coaches and me, Eugene, Carson, our grappling coach Alberto, enforcer BJJ, without all them, like none of this is possible. So I mean, everything, all the credit goes to them just as much, if not more.
Definitely. And the one thing that was a difference between your last fight and this one, of course, was the no fans. So talk about, did that play a factor in your performance? To hear your corner better, or not at all?
Yeah, so like everybody was like on me on that, like a bunch of my friends and like asking me like, is it gonna be weird? I'm like, honestly, guys, I don't even hear you during a fight. So, I mean, I hear them when I'm walking to the cage and stuff,
Sure.
obviously, but like as soon as the fight starts, I rarely hear anybody. If anything, I hear my dad, because I've had him in my corner for a long time, and he's super loud and my corner. The only difference for this fight was that like I was able to hear his corner super clear. Maybe also because like Joe Stevenson is super freaking loud. You know, Coach Mike warned me, but my God, that guy's freaking loud.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and I was able to hear Coach Mike, like he was right there, like it was a sparring session at the gym. So I think the only real difference was like the like you heard the impact of the shots, like super clear. Like even watching the replay, you hear him like when you watch him on Fight Pass, it's like, oh, that's like you don't really always hear that, with big crowds in there. So that was like the only difference I felt like. Other
Mhm.
than that, nothing really too different. Just scraps a scrap.
For sure. And then when the world opens up, how much are you looking forward to facing international competition for the first time in your career? Fighters from other countries.
I mean, that'd be dope. I mean, like I said, whoever Coach Mike says we go up against, that's whoever's next. They could be from the country, North America, South America, Europe. I don't care. Just as long as I'm competing, I'll be happy.
And your teammates will be in action coming up. I know Ignacio Hernandez is going to be taking on Edson Gomez at the Contender Series November 4th when they return, and Alejandro Flores has an upcoming fight as well in November. So, what are your thoughts on their opportunities?
I mean, I think it's Gallo's going to be the first one up. I think in 2 days or a day or something like that. He'll be on Fight Pass. So, I mean, he's looking to get right back in the mix. He had his shot at the Contender Series, didn't go his way, but a win this week, kind of just puts him right back in the mix. And then Ignacio had a good outing for LFA, and then he got this call. So I know he's looking to roll and come home with that contract. So I mean, both of them, I mean, very professional. I mean, very talented guys. Obviously, if you look at their record, so just kind of big outings for them. And I mean, looking for both of them to come home with wins, keep the ball rolling with the gym.
Definitely. And then you had an awesome design for your shirt. So, how'd you come up with that? Back in HFC 42 when you won the belt.
No, yeah. So that all goes out to Herman Baltasar and everyone at the Union Designs.
Okay.
Uh, when I went to fight, I had a kickboxing fight in Cuba my senior year of college, and I met him, and he's got his own company there out of Cali. He does like designs and logos for a bunch of athletes. So we kind of got together. I got together with him before my first fight under Coach Mike. So it was about 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and I just kind of told him, I was like, like I've always kind of like wanted a logo thing. It was around the time Canelo had came out with his like CA thing. And I was like,
Okay.
some along those lines I think would be cool. And he gave me a few like rough drafts and stuff, and then that CH just kind of clicked, and we just kind of like been trying to alter it for every fight here and there. And then I was like, let's say like I got a title fight, dude. Let's make some black and gold. I get the strap, and then I'll release those. And I had my mom. I didn't release the black and gold ones until after the fight. But I was like, Ma, hold the one shirt in your purse, and if I get the W's, toss it in the cage. And
Nice.
everything went well at least last HFC. So I had that on for the picture and for the belt after, and everybody loved it. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll make more. And no, yeah, those came out really nice.
Yeah, they did, certainly. And, HFC just seems such a long time ago when you won that belt. Was there any plans leading up to their September card for you to defend it? Was there anything in the works, or could possibly be in the works next year?
Just in talking with Paul, I think May was their next show actually.
Okay.
Um, so I mean, obviously, they would like me back in May. There was no like name in mind. It was just kind of like a date. But with everything with COVID, like it was like I fought like at the perfect time in February because I think it was
Definitely.
like 2 or 3 weeks later that everything just started to just shut down. So yeah, I like I said, I never had a name or anything. They just were like, "Oh, come back and fight," and we're like, Sure." Like I said, whatever Coach Mike says is
Yes.
usually what goes. So he's a man with a plan.
For sure. Yeah, I'm just hoping that we all get back to, HFC fights, whether you're competing or not. It's always a great time.
Yeah, they always have a good show. Before I was able to fight for them, it was always like it's always a packed house at the Horseshoe, Blue Chip,
Yeah.
wherever they're at, and just the fights there are like they're always legit. There's always some good scraps. So yeah, looking forward to that. Whether I'm like I said, whether I'm competing or not, I mean, I'm sure we'll have some VFS teammates on the card to bringing a good crowd, putting a good show as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I know sometimes they're on par with the big promotion cards. You know, I won't mention the names, but they're on promotion. Sometimes better fights. So
Yeah.
you never know, right?
Yeah, Eddie and Mike are always boasting about how some of the best fights they see, they're on that HFC card. So
Yes, I'm right
for
there with
sure.
them. Do you have any interest in that upcoming flyweight fight in UFC? Davidson Figueroda, Alex Perez. Like, if you could give us your expertise and your knowledge, like who would you say comes out?
I think when you look at both of them, I think the overall better guy, I think I'm gonna have to go with Perez. He's just more well-rounded. But I mean, Davidson is just he's a monster for the weight class. As you saw in his last performance, he just kind of dismantled Joe in the rematch. Um, didn't like Joe. I thought Joe was doing well in the first one up until the headbutt and stuff, but
Yeah.
the second one like just wasn't even close. Like he just mauled him. So I mean, uh, I don't really know which way to go, but I guess if I had to bet, if I was playing it safe, I'd probably go Perez. I think he's got the advantage because, like I say, just overall a little bit better. But I mean, dude's got the power, so it'll be a good one for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. What can we expect in your next fight? Obviously, we just saw you perform, but when you get back in that cage, whether it be 2020 or 2021, what do you want people to walk away from the fight, having seen you perform? Like, what do you want them talking about having to say about you?
I mean, just how I keep growing, man. I think every fight I've gotten just a little bit, I've showed a little bit more and more each fight. Uh, whether it's the movement, the striking, the grappling, kind of wherever the fight goes, just kind of keep opening up more, And I think this last fight, I kind of made a good statement, I was able to open up and flow and just kind of have more fun in there against like a game opponent, as like the pressure's on, the dude's like right in your face, and you got Joe yelling in that corner. Um, so and just kind of like I don't know, I feel like when I'm controlling fights like that, it's I'm able to like open up and do some more creative stuff like that tomahawk thing.
Right.
It started off kind of like as a joke in practice. I had seen like an elbow version of it over at ONE FC in like a Thai fight, and obviously I can't elbow in practice. Or I'm not going to elbow in practice, so I just kind of tried it like that version in practice, and it landed, and I was like, okay. And then like a week or two later, it landed again. I was like, well, whatever. I mean, if it's working. So, and I had thrown it earlier in the fight. I threw in the first round, I think. It didn't land, but the second time I threw it, and like with the empty arena, you just kind of heard the whole impact. So, just kind of want fans to just be like, when that dude fights, it's gonna be entertaining. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Well, appreciate you, Carlos, again being on the Fight Report. If there's anyone you'd like to thank, go ahead.
Oh man, just always much love to all my teammates, the whole VFS crew. You guys know who you are. Family and friends who support me. Just kind of been blessed to have a lot of good people support me in my journey and my dream. So thank you guys, and I hope you guys like that last outing, and looking forward to the next one.
We appreciate you guys for being on the Fight Report. Everybody check out Carlos Hernandez versus Trevor Wells at LFA 93 right now on UFC Fight Pass. If you haven't had a chance, go check it out. And we appreciate you being on the show. Looking forward to seeing you in the future, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Anytime.